Yes, George, you can start. George, you are on mute. Yeah, that's fine. I think when you go full screen, it goes on mute. Just unmute yourself first. That's it. So you can present now.
Hello everyone, and my project will be about footballing owners, and I just wanted to start this proposal by giving you a few facts. There are 12 teams in the Premier League that has been promoted in the last 10 years, which means that they have spent outside of the Premier League, especially for a long time. Around half of those teams were taken over by their current owners while they were still in their low points in the lower leagues. Okay, so the brief outline of this proposal and the reason why I wanted to do it is that there's a lack of credit towards footballing owners. And one thing that I just hate is when people don't give credit where it's due. So for example, when someone does something bad, or when an owner or player does something bad, we are quick to slag them off. And that just really annoys me. And I feel like there have been some players, there has been a recruitment team, there has been owners that have really saved the club, that has really helped them overachieve, that have really saved them from whatever mess they were in previously. And also, I wanted to do something about this project as there are fans that feel like they have an entitlement. Like for example, Chelsea fans, they tend to get all verbal sometimes by saying, "Oh, where were you? Oh, we've done this more than you have." Or to us Arsenal fans, what have you guys done since the last few years? Where have you guys got to? Blah blah blah, and things like that, really. And people tend to get really upset when things don't go their way, instead of just being grateful and thinking, you know what, it could be worse. Like for example, when Manchester City faced Tottenham in the Champions League 2 years ago, which was a final where that was contested between Tottenham and Liverpool. So in the semi-final, Man City had a goal disallowed, and Man City fans started to get angry, and uh, they started to write messages, give tweets saying "F VAR," "Oh, football is dead," blah blah blah. But many years ago, it didn't even look like they would be in the position that they were in, at least more than a decade ago, before their owner, Sheikh Mansour, took over. And so, what I would like to do is that I would like to make sort of a skit, a comedic video, just like HOTC Sport. So I would like to show that football owners tend to play a big part, whether it's a negative side of thing, whether it's a negative thing or a positive thing. You know, sometimes how a club my bad, can impact a team, can help a team either, you know, receive bad form, do well, get relegated, or really do something special, do something inspirational. And the reason why I'm doing this project is because it's something I know about and it's something I enjoy. And what inspired me to do this even more, at first I was planning to do a documentary But my good teacher, thank you, Osman, showed me a video. Sorry, Osman, I forgot their name. Is it Jack and Jones? Something like that?
I think so. Mapman, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, them. Sorry. Yeah, and that sort of inspired me to want to do what I'm planning to do. And also every day, well, many days I tend to watch a YouTube channel called HITC Sport, and it's very different to many other football channels because it's not like they don't use a lot of stats, nor they go to like nor they're like AFTV that tend to spend a lot of money weekly just to attend games, and it's not, and they're not like Copper 90 who tend to do a lot of documentaries. But no, there's HOTC Sport. There's this person, or there's two people that present it. One of them's more like a comedic person, and the other is more, well, his style is more for documentaries. But I really like but I'm hoping to follow the route of the Irish guy, which is his nickname. Well, and the other one, well, he sort of adds a bit of banter from time to time, but I don't know. He's not like the Irish guy. I wouldn't call it documentary based either, but they're very different. Anyway, that's not the point. I like his videos, and I sort of thought, you know what? Why don't I do it as well? Since I like it, since I also like his content. And what I'm hoping to get out of this is to gain enjoyment and to learn new skills as well, and to gain more confidence. Not only that, I'm also hoping that you guys may learn something about any of the 20 teams that I'll be covering. Okay, so my target audience will be anyone. Would be mostly be football fans, whether they are loyal fans or there'll be neutral fans as well, or anyone that has like that passion for football, or that just likes watching football in general. And the reason why I selected just football fans in general as my target audience is because like not many people will know a lot about, well, people watch football but they're not really gonna like look at the history of like certain clubs or certain owners. So I've mainly based it down to just like football fans, really. Okay. So the research I'll be doing is that I'll be doing a lot of research through the web. I won't like narrow it down to like any specific website, but I'll just like click on anyone. I might avoid the Sun though, because they're not very resourceful, and also sometimes they prefer you to press on the cookies. They want you to accept the cookies, and so that's why I might avoid them. Because there's also other more helpful sites such as The Athletic that I could go on. Hopefully I don't have to pay for it. So because there are some sites that prefer you to subscribe and may want you to pay as well, maybe. But anyway, but why go on sites when I could also go on YouTube, when I could watch YouTube videos. For example, HITC Sport, Copper 90, and much more. So my production plan will be that I'll be filming myself in my room, trying to make sure my audience learns something. The video will be around 10 minutes long, and like I mentioned before, I'll be covering around, all of the teams of the Premier League, but I also think that it would be useful to mention other teams as well, because it's not just Premier League teams that have benefited from takeovers as well. But I think the Premier League will be important to talk about because it's the richest football league in the world, and there's money from top to bottom. So even those teams, small teams like Sheffield United, West Brom, have a lot of finances due to, the TV deals. But unfortunately, that might not be the case due to COVID. And the resources that I'll be using will be the camera, my phone, or my phone. I'll also be using software such as Premiere Pro and maybe Photoshop as well. I may have to use a microphone as well, but hopefully my camera will be sufficient. So, what can go wrong? As many of you know, I'm not the best at editing. So, my video may not look the best. It may not look how I want it to be, or how, the professionals do it, or how other football channels do it. But hopefully, that's not the case. Okay. So here is a little mood board here. So the W here, I don't know if you could see my arrow. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the symbol of WordPress. And WordPress is technically the site where I'll be keeping my log, the information, where I'll be doing the academic side of things, where I may also be keeping a journal as well, where giving I'll be showing UAL what I've been doing, what led me to do this, what's my pre-production plan is. And here is a camera, which of course represents, filming HITC Sport, the football channel that sort of inspired this project. Premiere Pro, the logo for Premiere Pro, which is the software that I'll be using the most to film. And I'll be using the visuals that I could be using in my video would probably be either a background, or I might just keep it simple by just using my room instead. The location that I could be using will be my room, or maybe I might go outside for a bit. And it depends. At the same time, we've got to remember COVID still around, and we've been advised to stay at home also, unless it's for exercise or shopping. The lighting, well, I don't think lighting will be too much of a problem because I've got blinds in my room, so that I could just in case if it's either too dark or too light, I could just either open it or close it. The audio I'll be using, well, I just using my voice really. And for props, well, it's not really considered as a prop, but I may be using a script. It'll be handy for me to do so. And for my costume, well, I don't really need one. I'm just gonna wear normal clothes really. What will be the end result? Well, I'm hoping that I'll make a successful video. Hope I'll be successful in creating a comedic video. Well, not just look at it from a perspective of a journalist or just a neutral fan, but also think of, I would also look at it as just a fan really, like how like a fan that would like attend games. I'll also hope that you guys enjoy yourself, and also that you guys learn something, because who wants to sit around watching something for 10 minutes just being bored only because they were obligated to? No one does. And I hope you guys end up being entertained. I hope I entertain you guys just as much as I'm entertained whenever I watch, HITC Sports. Here's a here's an example of his videos, or one of his videos. Let me just show you.
You might need to share the screen which is showing the video.
Sorry.
We don't see it here. You
Oh,
will need to share the screen which is playing the video.
oh, my bad.
Don't worry, don't hassle yourself. If it's not playing, George, we got the idea, so you can
Okay.
stop the video in the background because we are short of time, kind of. We are coming to
All right,
in
cool.
half past.
Any questions? Oh, sorry.
Well done. I mean, George, you've done quite a lot of background research and you know what you are talking about. You are very passionate about the subject.
Mhm.
But when you are writing your script, remember to be economical with your concept. So maybe
Okay.
short sentences, like the map men video I showed you. You don't have to copy what they are doing, but those guys are saying half sentences and
Okay.
the rest is covered by a picture. For example, you say, do you know this man? He is the manager of there. Just a pop-up image. You don't need much of video editing techniques to know. You may need some popping up sound for those images coming up around where you are presenting. And for that, you don't need even green background. As you saw some of those videos I showed to your class, they're just doing it in a room like any ordinary room. But I mean, I will hand over the questions to my colleagues and the audience. But I think there is a lot at the moment need to be clarified in your project because you are kind of in one way you are talking about with. I can see your passion for the subject and your obsession about with the football and how managers and players having influences. But equally, if this is informative video, you need to be very selective. Yeah, because football is always been a topic you can't see two people agreeing on it. It's always argumental, and depending how well your team is doing, you always having an argument to make, and it's always been a historical thing. Football, no matter what country you are in, football is a sensitive topic among a lot of people. Simon.
Yeah, I think I really like this idea a lot. I agree with Osman. It's got to be clear, but I think you're using HITC as your model is a really good idea. The question for me is, can you do you know the Irish guy who's very funny on that? Are you going to be playing that role in a way, and doing that funny commentary and asking those questions?
Well, yeah, if I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'll sort of do it my own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. What I like is because you've got to put background also in performing, you can bring some fun to a genre. Often, when you think about Gary Lineker and Match of the Day, it's very serious guys sitting around in smart clothes in a studio. But you can do something a little bit more fun and a bit more young, youthful in its atmosphere. And I think that's a really nice idea.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. Martin, do you have anything?
No, yeah,
Those-
just go for the humor and stuff because like your passion for the subject comes through already. It's kind of you're clearly, you're well informed and everything. So I think it should be, it's going to be good. I think.
Yeah, and it's different from whatever we have seen from, comedy is something our students kind of a little bit less specializing in.
Yeah.
So it would be always nice to see, and when we have it and students get it right, I still remember them. It's very strange how many dramas we see, but when I see comedy act, I remember them.
Yeah.
It's very unique because we don't see many of them produced. So I look forward to seeing your product, and we are here to support you, George, and anything we can do to help you, we are here for that. Any other question from the panel? Any compliment? Any?
Is your project like some BBC Breakfast comedic type show?
No, not really.
All right.
So I can visualize, George, you are standing in front of, I don't know, in your room. You are quite acrobatic, passionate about the topic. Then something funny comes up, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
So let's see.
My-
Your storyboard is very important, as Simon mentioned. If that Irishman is your role model, and and the characters I show with you are giving you some influences, there are many more. Just make a clear storyboard, because very easy to get confused. The project is, the idea is there, the passion is there, but it's very easy to get confused if you just pick up a camera and trying to do random things. Try to do a clear storyboard and stick with it. And this generation is very lucky to have YouTube, because for any topic you have references out there which you can learn from. And lockdown is another step in this direction, where there are many programs in lockdown now, broadcast, either comedy program or serious news program, broadcast from home. So is nothing odd about it. So I hope I will see your project would be one of the successful one in that field.
Thank you, sir.
No worries. Okay, thanks everyone. I'm gonna kind of close or stop this recording.